Hello?
Are we live?
I think so. Oh, orientation's locked.
Oh, it has to be vertical.
I guess so. I'll try one other thing that's gonna flip the camera, so we're live.
We're live.
Cool.
Hey guys.
Welcome to another Thursday Live.
Happy Thursday, yes.
Blame the camera, it looks so far, so much better.
It is just Dr. Cassidy and I today, Dr. Mariah. Welcome back. Thanks for being here or watching later. We're gonna touch on some restless leg.
Yes, all about restless leg swelling, especially during pregnancy, but
Right.
restless leg can happen to people at any time. It's just
Yes.
really common during pregnancy because of all the changes your body has to go through.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
So
without further ado, should we start with what we do?
yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you are in Minnesota or in the metro area, Minneapolis, Twin Cities, that's where we are. If you would like to make an appointment, obviously we treat women, pregnancy, not pregnancy, any age of females is what we specialize in. So we're gonna just kind of brief what we do here. Of course, there's an additional piece of the chiropractic adjustment. But we'll just show you more of the soft tissue work that you can also maybe mirror at home.
Yeah. Way too easy.
Cool.
So let's start with that because, again, I will say even if you don't feel swollen or are experiencing excess fluid, this tissue work, this muscle work, can be a game changer. I had a mama in earlier this week for a restless leg, and as Dr. Cassidy moved our wedge pillow, of course you could try elevating if you are swollen and are carrying extra fluid. So elevate your feet. This guy's on our Amazon storefront, you guys. Your feet just roll right up there.
It's so cozy.
But if you're expecting as well, and are maybe having trouble sleeping on your side, you can use the wedge to prop yourself up at night as well. So double use, quite a few uses. Let's go back to the lymphatic part. So
yes.
Yeah, do you want to lie face down?
Absolutely. Sure can. I don't know if you can see or not.
Yeah. And I'll explain a bit here first. We can see. I can see your feet.
Awesome.
So we're talking about lymphatic drainage. That's the first piece, okay? You could be experiencing some of this restless leg due to excess fluid, especially if you're pregnant. Now, I am going to be working at Dr. Cassidy's ankle, where you're probably seeing and noticing most of the fluid, and I'm going to be using a C-shaped contact, get rid of my sweatshirt, just my hand here to push all that fluid from her ankle up towards her heart, right? Our lymphatic system is like our sewage system in our body. It doesn't move though unless you move. So you can go and get lymphatic massages, you can walk, exercise, moving your body. Dry brushing, right guys? We've all heard of dry brushing. That's gonna help your lymphatic system. So you'll notice I'm gonna start at her ankle and just massage straight up. I'm gonna help facilitate the movement of any excess fluid that could be in her lower extremity, pushing it up towards the heart. This was the one thing that was a game changer for my mama earlier this week. She stood up and was like, oh hey, that feels better. Like my feet aren't so numb. So again, C-shaped contact. Working directly on the skin is going to be easier than working over somebody's leggings, but for this purpose, it doesn't matter. Use a lotion, use some BioFreeze to decrease friction, okay? So I used BioFreeze earlier this week because I then, after doing this lymphatic drainage, I then put some kinesiology tape on the mama's calves, and we'll touch more on that in a minute. Now, I'm gonna bend her at her knee here, just so you can maybe see a little bit better. I'm taking my C-shaped contact. Remember, gravity's not our best friend if we're experiencing excess fluid. So starting at the ankle where you're gonna find that fluid, you're just gonna push everything towards the heart. Now, I'm pushing everything towards the knee. The knee, behind the knee, is a common place to find a bunch of lymph nodes. You have lymph nodes everywhere because your lymphatic system is everywhere. Now, if I wanted to get real picky, nitpicky, and help her even more, then after I've done a few and pushed everything to the knee, I'm gonna come to the knee and push it up the back of the thigh as well, okay? So anybody at home can help you do this. If you are at home alone, you could do the very same thing to yourself. So just putting my foot up on the table, I'm gonna grab and just pull all that fluid up towards my knee. I'm gonna do a few. If you need, if you're working on somebody or somebody's working on you, you can start low and do a few. And this is really pretty light, you guys. I mean, of course, you've got to use enough pressure just to help wake everything up. But nothing about this is painful, okay? So that's where we work and what we mean when we talk about lymphatic drainage.
Yeah, absolutely. Pregnant or not, just kind of feels real good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we can also talk about just other things they can do nutritionally, what we're telling you guys to do at home to help yourself aside from the massage.
Yeah.
Kinesio tape.
So we're in all black here. Kinesiology tape, KT tape, rock tape, dynamic tape. Because I mentioned it earlier, this can also help decrease inflammation, help with pain management, and help lymphatic drainage. So you really can't do the tape piece wrong. Maybe your local provider, chiropractor, PT, etc., athletic trainer, you have a friend can help you with this. YouTube it, hello, and you're gonna find resources. We do actually have a YouTube video for KT tape, also on our website at chiroformoms.com, kinesiology taping. But this is gonna lift up on that layer of skin to help things flow.
Yeah.
So now let's talk what we can take, what we can eat.
Yes. So when we are talking about swelling and restless leg syndrome, kind of like Mariah said, even if you don't have swelling, but you have those restless leg syndrome type symptoms, especially in the evenings, they go hand in hand because they're somewhat triggered by the same things. They're triggered by your rising estrogen during pregnancy, and then also the excess load of blood that you have, and you're less good at essentially pumping that blood. So what we want to do is support your circulation through things like really good hydration. And hydration means more than water. It also means your electrolytes, your sodium, your potassium, your magnesium, and even B vitamins are also like very helpful during this time. So what we tell patients is obviously make sure you're drinking enough water, but add those electrolytes, especially if you're having a lot of food aversions and you can't consume a lot of those electrolytes in your diet. There are electrolyte powders out there. We like LMNT. That's the best tasting thing that we really enjoy here. There's the liquid IV. There's all the random supplement brands have their electrolyte powders that they're into. Just obviously make sure you know what else is in it besides your electrolytes, especially the sweetener. That's kind of why we like Element, just because it's sweetened with stevia, so a little bit of a healthier option rather than like a Gatorade, Powerade, like a typical sports drink.
Because there's no sugar in the LMNT, and the ingredient list is pretty plain Jane, so you're not going to find a lot.
Not a lot of extra things,
Correct.
Which is very cool. If you're not an electrolyte powder person, I understand. They're not always like the best tasting, or it's an acquired taste.
Correct.
So magnesium, we love it. We love it here.
So again, now let's really quick just say you can go online, you can go on Google and search for some foods that are high in sodium, potassium, magnesium, right? And when we say sodium, it's not table salt, okay? So just forget about your table salt, that doesn't count, that's not gonna help you. But otherwise, use Google, because there's plenty of options out there. You can think sweet potatoes and a bunch of fruits and cooked broccoli and spinach, and the list goes on and on, so we're not gonna continue that piece. But you can get magnesium also from topicals. There's some really awesome lotions out there. We have one in front of us. That's an Epsom salt cream. It's also on our Amazon storefront. This is an Epsom salt topical. So this is magnesium sulfate, also really great for aches and pains. But Earthly Wellness has magnesium lotions, so hit them up. You can actually find some of that on our Amazon storefront. What is it? 8 Sheep Organics. They've been popping up on my phone as well. They have some magnesium lotions too, but
yes. And then just like the Epsom salt cream. Essentially, take Epsom salt baths.
yes,
Really nice for legs. When we're talking like upper arm carpal tunnel type swelling, baths aren't always a great option, but for the legs, it's great. When you dissolve the salt in your warm bath, essentially you break apart the molecule. It's small enough that your skin can actually absorb that magnesium. That's the same way that those creams and ointments work. So that's just kind of a cool piece about magnesium if you're not going to be consuming enough of it. And
which we don't.
No, we don't. Our soil's a little bit depleted.
Yeah.
Just all the things, really hard to get it during pregnancy to an adequate amount where you may be a little bit less symptomatic. And if you're asking yourself, well, my prenatal has magnesium, if you look at the back, you will notice very rarely will your prenatal or multivitamin have 100% or even like 50% of those elements that you need in a day.
Your recommended daily amount. We won't go down a rabbit hole with this because
we could be here for hours.
Yeah, we just don't need to do that to you. But I take 2 different kinds of magnesiums every day, and I take upwards of 500 milligrams of each because they do different things. So do your research, ask your providers.
Yeah.
We're here to help too, but yes, again, just to help support
Yes.
your nervous system, your body.
Yeah, all around. Magnesium does so many different things, and there's so many different forms of it. So get your Google on, YouTube things, all the stuff. For potassium, you've probably heard like bananas, pickles, things of that nature. Cream of tartar, you can dissolve a teaspoon in a little bit of water and just take it down. There will be some potassium in that. You can also do coconut water. Do coconut water in your smoothies if you're a smoothie gal. Drink just plain coconut water. I honestly don't really mind the taste, but again, make sure a lot of those coconut waters are going to have the added sugar.
Which we don't want.
No, not preferably. So there are brands out there that are great, and they're just the plain coconut water. And like I said, you don't need the sugar. It already tastes pretty dang good. So, and then sodium, like you said, we're not talking table salt. We're talking good old sodium. That's what your body needs. Right. So,
like sea salt. If you haven't heard of, again, we like Element, but there's Redmond. Redmond is a brand that has some also hydration packets, electrolytes.
Yes, just another brand I've looked into. I have not tried, so I cannot attest to flavor. Is the Needed brand. Bunch of prenatal supplements that they have, and they have a really nice hydration supplement, and there's actually quite a bit of magnesium in that one, so I am into that.
Yeah, I haven't tried that one. The last 2 things that come to mind for me, well, we already touched on B vitamins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a B complex can be really helpful, and again for nerve health, but you can talk to all your providers about those things. Sometimes incorporating more healthy fats into your diet is helpful, and this could also be an iron thing. So for example, we'll talk about my grandmother for a hot second. Her ferritin, which is your stored iron, was so low that she needed iron infusions, and as soon as she had a few iron infusions to help replenish her iron stores, her restless legs went away. Again, that was per her provider, that was not per a chiropractor, because we don't order those things, we don't order iron infusions, but I will just say that can also be a touchy subject because, maybe not touchy, but The range for normal and optimal, right? We could question that all day long. We want optimal, not just normal. My normal is going to be different from Dr. Cassidy's normal. So
Absolutely.
my grandmother's normal was certainly a heck of a lot higher than 30, 35. So
Yeah, good point to add that there. And compression socks.
oh yeah, yes.
Love them.
That'll help the lymphatic drainage too.
Yes.
Compression socks.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're on your field day, wear them all day.
Yeah.
Even as a person, I am not pregnant, but when I am on my feet all day, I enjoy wearing compression socks, and they make a world of a difference. If you travel a lot, if you're in the car, if you fly, anything of that nature, have them on you. And you can also sleep in them. I don't enjoy having socks on my feet when I sleep, so I just snip off the toes and they're perfect. So that's an option for you too. Again, you can find compression socks anywhere. Get some cheap ones on Amazon if you want to cut the feet off. There's some nice brands online. But essentially it's just the compression piece that is helping the circulation, so you really don't need anything too fancy.
No, you don't at all.
No.
Because we went back to the lymphatic system. I don't know if I mentioned that Earthly Wellness has also a lymphatic cream.
You didn't.
Okay, something I haven't tried, but they also have a lymphatic topical. So,
yeah, talk about a great brand with like all the options.
yeah, tons of options there.
So we will make sure, we add some of those links in the description after this goes live and posted. So look for those and look for the other videos like kinesio taping. You can find that on the channel, and we have an entire easy to watch video dedicated on your at-home techniques for restless leg syndrome. So
yes, we do.
Find that too. Until next week, thanks.
Guys, enjoy your weekend.